to be making a clock. I'm using Eparency, the super deep resin that is already mixed. So I've mixed up 750 grams and 500 of part A and 250 of part B. So I'm hoping that will work. I've got my little white resin. I've used a fast curing Eparency resin for that one. So because I want that to thicken up pretty quickly. And I've got my alcohol ink, so I'm going to be doing violet, yellow and orange. So without further ado, I think we'll start.
You're sick of my madness. Don't you tell me what I'm supposed to do. You're better off without me. Don't you tell me what I'm supposed to do. When I'm walking on the streets half naked, it's part of me, it's part of me. When I'm making my brain makeup, it's part of me, it's part of me. When you're crushing on my dreams and you're making me so full, get out of my life. I know what I'm supposed to do. When you're crushing on my dreams and you're making me so full, I know what I'm supposed to do.
Okay, I'm back. I decided I'd go with 2 rather than try and top this one up with the rest of that resin, because it is very slow. You know, I'm even a little bit worried about the fact that it might not reach the temperature it needs to reach. They've both done their own thing with the colours. I've used the same colours, so I'm not sure if I should come in with my white. I've got that ready to go, but it's not very warm. It's only 32. So whether I'll be patient and wait a bit longer, I think it might have to be the way it goes. And I'll be back again. Thanks. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to give this a go. I don't want to wait any longer. I might be doing the wrong thing, but we'll soon see. So let's see what happens. I might just go around. And I was almost thinking of leaving this one the way it is. But I'm worried that if I do, it's all going to be sitting here instead of being at the bottom, which is going to be the top. So I wonder if I should try using a white sinker for this one, or whether I should go with the paste. Let's try a sinker. It's my white sinker. I got it from Amazon. And that's supposed to sink the alcohol inks down to the bottom, which is where I want them to be. I don't want them to be here, because that's where that's going to be hidden eventually when I put another coat on. So that's that one, and then this one I'm going to put a little bit more white because it's starting to sink, but it's not very prominent at the moment. Used up, and now I shall come in with always mindful that I don't want to mess it up too much. Starting to do a few little white blobs. Now this one here, what do I do with that? Looking quite pretty this side, but I have no idea how it will look on the other side. I don't know whether to give it a go or not. I think I'll leave it. There's such a pretty effect there. I'm not sure whether that's going to be seen on the front. I don't really want to spoil it. Hi, I'm back. This Super Deep does take quite a long time to dry, so I would allow 48 to 72 hours. So I made these not yesterday but the day before, but you know, they're okay to touch now. And have a look at that, like that's looking like it's going to come out quite nice. That was the one I did the sinker with. And this one is the one that I did for white titanium. So that's got quite a lot of white. I probably overdid the white a bit. So what I'm thinking, usually I'll just put a plain back on them, like a black or a green or an orange in this case, or red. Could even put a coffee colour on, would look good on this. But I've decided what I'm going to do to try and hopefully, you know, see if I can still get some more colour going through. I might just keep it in the same colours, give it a bit more depth, but I think I'll just do it with the sinker though, not with the titanium white. I've run out of that anyway, so I'd have to use a different paste, and I'm not sure how that would work. So I've mixed up my resin, and it's the super deep Eparency, that one there, which I've shown you before, I think. And that's part A, and of course we've got part B, and it's a 2:1 ratio. So I could have used just their normal one. Perhaps that's what I should have done, because now this is going to take longer to dry. But we'll go with this and see how they turn out. But I'm sort of happy how that one with the white sinkers looking at the back there. Well, that's going to be the front, obviously. I'm really happy with the way that's looking. And this one, you know, that's going to look quite pretty too, I think. I have got a little bit of colour down the bottom, a lot of white at the top. So let's pour our next lot, and I'll go and get my other white sinker, because I'm not sure I've got enough in that one. So let's go. We've got our resin, my paper towel, clean the stick off. That's been mixed for three and a half minutes. And always making sure you scrape the sides and the bottom so that it's evenly mixed. So let's go with this. I want to fill it right up to the top. If they end up quite thick, and I want to make sure I've got enough for this one.
We're gonna keep it low key, keep it softly spoken, with no strings tying you to me. I'm happy in your company with no emotion, 'cause my love deserves to be free. I never wanna look at a house in the garden, I never wanna lock you down. I know you're not mine, it's just my turn, but we can still have fun for now. You told me you don't really do commitment, trust me, consider your message received. When you said you couldn't take us too seriously, I must admit I was relieved. 'Cause I never wanna play happy families with you, but I like having you around. I'm fully aware this.
Hello, back again. Well, these are looking pretty nice here at the moment. I don't know whether I really 27. They haven't heated up very much, and I didn't expect them to, because it is a super deep. So I'm just wondering whether to do the white sinker like I was thinking of, or just leave them. What do you think? But what I've been working on while I've been doing that, some of you might have seen my video on how I made the silicone molds for the pendants, and I've just been putting little caps on top of my pendants. I've ordered some leather straps. I'm going to put leather straps on these ones. So I don't know if you remember, there's a video on how I've made these. So if you're interested, and I've just glued on the little caps on the top. You can get them from Temu or anywhere really, Amazon. That one there, yeah, a little cap on the top there. And these ones here, I had to do them a little bit differently. I've put a, don't know if you can see that little silver thing there, because they were a bit more delicate, and so they'll just hang with the silver chain. Yeah, so I'm pleased with those. There's another one there with the silver chain. You can see the light. Can you see the light going through them? Yeah. So if you're interested, yeah, check out that video on how to make the silicone molds with rocks, and then make some really nice pendants, which, you know, I haven't seen any molds like that. So, but let's get back to business. What are we going to do here? Are we going to put the sinker? Shall we try it? I don't like ruining things, but I do like experimenting, so let's just try it, eh? See what happens. You don't know unless you try. And that's the thing, I do enjoy experimenting. This one's nearly run out. Okay, I'll leave that one at that. And should I just leave that one like that and see what... And see it starting to move. Just thought if it pushes the colours down, it might give it a little bit more depth at the front. I think I'll leave that one like that. I don't think I'll put anything in that one. And we'll see what happens, the two different effects. Hi, I'm back again very quickly. I just did a bit of a twirl in that one, and I like the look. So I'm thinking I will go and do this one as well. I've taken my gloves off, but shouldn't be too long doing this. I do like that look on the back. If it stays like that, I don't know whether it will, or whether it'll sink. I'm not sure. It's supposed to sink. It's supposed to sink the colours. So I'll just let it sit for a couple of minutes. We can always speed it up, fast forward it. I just want it to do its own thing for a minute before I twirl it. All right, well let's do it then. see what happens with that. Well, next time I join you, it'll be to unmold and see how they turned out. And we can put the clocks into the front of them as well. Hi, here we are, we're ready to unmold. So they're touch dry. They're sort of pulling away from the edges, so that's okay. It's looking good. Every now and again I can see there's a little bit of stuck to the mould there, so I'll need to get the heat gun onto that just to release that little tiny bit. Otherwise I'll tear my mould. Yep, no, that's good, that came away, see? So if you do have that problem, just put the heat gun on it. I have torn a few moulds before I learned that little trick. And once you tear the mould in and you pour anything else into it, you end up getting that little bit of a not very nice look on the sides. Oh wow, there we go, there's the first one. Yay, look at that. What do you think? The colour's beautiful, look at that. This was done with the white sinker. So I've got, you know, I've got a few sort of little effects there, if you can see. But, I mean, I haven't really done much with the white sinkers before, only on little tiny things, and I haven't had a lot of success, so I don't think that's too bad. I mean, practice makes perfect, of course. I'll have to keep trying, but I have got some little effects in there, so I think that's quite pretty. And it's just so smooth, like that's just come out with that super deep. That has just come out so beautiful and smooth and glossy. It doesn't need anything else. All I need to do is just file down the edges here, and that's ready for the clock to go in. I'm just wrapped in how beautifully smooth all that is. Sometimes I have a bit of problem with that, but that's just beautiful. That is so smooth. No, I'm happy with that. So that's number one. Now we'll try this one, which had the titanium white heated up and poured into it. So it's coming away okay. See this mould here, you can see, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little raised bit. That's where it's caught onto the mould before, and again here I'm going to have to get a new mould because it sort of spoils the effect a bit. I get a knife and just try and scrape it off, but it does, you know, you've got to be careful then you don't scratch out the other parts of it. So wow, okay, so that's the back, and again I've got to file down the rough, well, it's not rough, it's just a very hard line around here. So I want to smooth that out. And let's see what we get on this side. Oh, that's different. What do you think? I think I put too much white, but it's still pretty though. Has got that little bit of a fairy look about it, fairy garden. Well, I'll come back with my clocks and we'll pop those in and then see the finished result. But yeah. Let me know what you think. Hi, I'm back again. Just looking through my clocks. Now these clocks, you can get them anywhere on Amazon, AliExpress, Temu, wherever you want to get them. They're quartz. They work really well. They keep correct time. Very easily replaceable if you need to replace them at any stage. The only thing I've found is recently is that, see the little clips there on this one? And there's another, we put this one in here. They're starting to make them without these clips. I like the clips. The clips, you know, they clip beautifully into place. They're starting to put these rubber bands on them. And unfortunately, with the rubber bands on them, they often don't, they don't fit these molds. So if there's any manufacturers of these clocks watching, please bring back the clips. I've searched all over the internet for them. If anyone knows where to find them, I even tried to look up to see if anyone would custom make them, but I couldn't find anything. They do break, they can break easily if they're not in place properly. But yeah, to try and find replacements, I would have thought AliExpress would have had them, given that they've got everything else, but I couldn't find them. So I'm very disappointed that they've started using these rubber bands. But anyway, what do you think? Gold? I mean, I think, you know, the gold looks better than the silver. I don't know. That doesn't look too bad either with against the white, does it? And that one's got the actual clock that a lot of people do like. Maybe I'll do one of each. This one definitely needs the gold, so I'm gonna pop the gold one in here. Now they take a AAA battery, so I always make sure I do put a battery in it so that people can see that they're working. There we go. And then you pop the back on. Now if ever you have to replace the battery, I find that that's just a little nail thing I've got, and you just clip that in there like that and open it up like that. If you try and force it open any other way, I found they break, so you've got to be a little bit careful with them. But this clip's sticking out a little bit, which is why I'm having a little bit of trouble there. So now we shall set the time, and we've just finished daylight saving here, so it's about 20 to 2 in the afternoon. We'll set that to 20 to 2. There we go. 20 to 2, and we'll pop that in. Make sure it's in the right spot. There we go. The only other thing I've got to do, which I do for all my pieces, is put my little, and I do that with the UV resin. I've got my little N that I make out of UV resin, and a little bit of a sparkly thing that I just pop onto the bottom of that, and that's my little signature. So I've got to do that. Now this one, see, this one has got a couple of clips, but the clips were too long. That's the other thing. Some of the later ones I bought, the clips have been too long. So I'll have to get that fixed. So I'll do that, and I'll come back and show you the total finished result. Right, so what I'm going to do now is this one here is finished. I'm really happy with that. What do you think? So beautiful. And I've sanded that down with my nail file, and so that's all finished. One word of warning when you've made it, don't like you know, you assume it's all dry, wouldn't you? I made the mistake of putting them into a beautiful gift box, and it had some honeycomb paper down the bottom, and what happened was, because they're not 100% dry, they ended up forming the honeycomb pattern at the back. So just be aware of that even though they may look dry, they may not be totally. So they need to really sit for a week or so before, you know, popping them out for sale. That's my suggestion anyway. So that's that one. Now this one, I've put the clock in, and my little insignia, the silver one there, because I've got a silver clock. I'm not sure if I like the silver, whether it would have been better with the gold, but I'm going to leave it with the silver now. Let me know your thoughts. What I'm trying to do now is see those little bits there that the mould was a bit faulty there. I'm going to see if I can just very carefully, in fact what I might do is just heat them up first and then try and get them off with the knife. These are all little things that I've learned along the way, which I'm hoping will help you now if you're trying to do something like this as well. Let's try that. You've got to go very carefully so you don't scratch the rest of the surface. You can see it sort of wants to come off because I've heated it. I want to heat it a bit more. I've found in the past if I tried to sand it off, I end up sanding the clock, and it wrecks the finish. Then I've often had to go back and try and put another coat of resin on top and oh gosh, it ends up becoming quite a task. But look, these little imperfections are part of a handmade product. I tell my customers that in a little card I give them with the purchase. There's not much we can do about it. So that's what makes them a hand. They're not custom made, factory produced pieces, so they're going to have some little blemishes and things on them from time to time. But that's looking pretty good now. I've just about got that all off. And I can give that a little bit of a polish, and you'll hardly see that now. And I've got a couple more to do here as well, but I'll just show you what I do with the actual little edges, because they're a bit rough and they can be a bit sharp. So just with the nail file and easy, like, yeah, just using their little brushes. If you're working with UV resin, their little nail technician brushes don't leave streaks like a lot of brushes do. Again, going very carefully so I don't scratch the back of the clock. I only want to get these sides smoothed down. And I should have my gloves on doing this. It's when you're working with resin, a warning that, yeah, these little particles might not look, they might look harmless, but you've got to wear a mask and gloves, so don't do what I'm doing at the moment. I usually do have gloves on. Just using a little baby wipe just to wipe that over. And there we go, that one's just about ready to sit and let cure for another week or so before putting it up for sale. So I hope you've enjoyed that video and you've enjoyed watching me make these clocks, and I hope you've got something out of it and it helps you. So I'll see you again. Bye.